Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unpack the secrets hidden inside company filings. And let me tell you, Nova Limited really dressed up their numbers this year. It is like they wanted to hide a few things behind a very shiny facade, or maybe they just had a really good year. We'll find out now. Before we dive too deep into this report, hit that subscribe button and join our Discord community linked below. We break down these filings so you don't have to, and our community is where you can get even more insights and ask questions. Alright, so we're looking at Nova Limited's annual report for the year ending the 31st of December 2025. This is a company involved in semiconductor manufacturing equipment, which is a super hot industry right now, but also a really complex one with tons of risks. They're trading under the ticker symbol NVMI on NASDAQ. First off, they are a large accelerated filer, meaning they are a big company that has been around for a while and need to follow all the CC rules. They also check the box for not being required to file reports for a shorter period, and they have filed all their required reports for the past 12 months, which is good. It also says they are not a shell company, which is also good, unless you are looking for a penny stock to flip. Now, the report is full of forward-looking statements, basically promises or predictions about the future. But they're super careful to say that these predictions are based on current expectations and could change a lot. They warn that new risks pop up all the time, and what they expect today might not happen tomorrow. This is standard stuff, but it is always good to remember when reading these filings. Let's talk about risks, because Nova Limited has a lot of them. First up is cybersecurity. They're saying hackers are getting better, and that is a real threat to their business. They've put security measures in place, but they can't guarantee they're completely safe. This is especially important in Israel, where they are based, because Israeli companies have been targeted more often recently. And with AI getting better, hackers might use it to find weak spots. A data breach could hurt their reputation, cost them customers, and lead to a lot of legal trouble. Then there are the international risks. Nova Limited gets a lot of its money from sales outside of Israel. That means they are vulnerable to political fights between countries, economic problems like inflation or recessions, and even conflicts in regions like the Middle East or tensions between China and Taiwan. A trade war or new tariffs could also really hurt them. Their technology is also super important, which means protecting their ideas and patents is a huge deal. If they can't keep their technology secret or prevent others from copying it, they could lose their edge in the market. They mention that some of their patents are expiring, which could mean more competition and less money for them. The semiconductor industry is also incredibly competitive. They're up against big names like Hella Corporation and Onto Innovation. If they can't keep up with new technology or offer better products at a good price, they'll lose customers and market share. This is a constant battle in this industry. They also recently launched a new computer system to manage their business called an ERP system. They're admitting that this transition might cause some problems and could affect how they do business. That is a common issue when companies switch to new major systems. Another big risk is that they rely on just one factory building for each product type. If something happens to one of those factories, like a natural disaster or a strike, it could completely shut down their ability to make that product. Now let's talk about their debt. They've issued convertible senior notes, which are like loans that can turn into company stock. These notes, especially the ones due in 2030, could cause problems. They might dilute existing shareholders, meaning each share becomes a smaller piece of the company. They could also make it harder for Nova Limited to make big decisions or take advantage of new opportunities because of the strict rules tied to this debt. They also have their shares listed on two different stock exchanges, NASDAQ and the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. This can create some interesting price differences because of different trading times and currency values. Doing business in China has its own set of risks, like trade laws, currency changes, and potential issues with intellectual property. With all the geopolitical events happening, especially between the US and China, this is a major point of attention. Being based in Israel also comes with specific risks due to the ongoing political and economic situation. In the region, they mention that conflicts and instability can impact their business and their ability to get funding. Now, let's look at the money. This is where things get interesting. Nova Limited is doing pretty well financially. Total revenues in 2025 jumped to $880.6 million, which is a huge 31% increase from 2024. That is an extra $208 million in sales in just 1 year. Their product sales made up most of that, bringing in $705.6 million. Also up 31%. Their services also saw a good increase of 31%. Their gross profit, which is the money left after they pay for making their products, was $505.2 million. That is a 30% increase. Their gross margin, the percentage of profit they keep from each sale, was 57%, which is pretty solid, especially in this industry. Operating income, meaning profit after all their business expenses like R&D and marketing, was $253.5 million. That is a big jump of 35% from the previous year. And finally, their net income, the bottom line profit after taxes, was $259.2 million, a massive 41% increase from 2024. This shows they are not just growing, but also becoming much more profitable. Looking at their assets, they've grown significantly. Total assets are now $2.36 billion, up from $1.39 billion at the end of 2024. This growth is partly due to acquiring Centronics and also from their strong profits and a successful convertible notes offering. Speaking of their finances, they issued $750 million in convertible senior notes in September 2025. This is a huge amount of money and a major part of their financial story for the year. It helps them fund their growth, but also brings those risks we talked about earlier. They ended 2025 with a lot of cash and equivalents, over $214 million. And if you add their short-term deposits and marketable securities, that number goes up even higher. This strong cash position means they have flexibility for future investments or to weather tough times. Their inventories also increased to $183.7 million, which makes sense given their sales growth, but it is something to watch for slow-moving stock. The auditor flagged the valuation of their inventory as a key audit matter, meaning it involves some tricky judgments. They have to be careful that their inventory is worth what they say it is, especially with technology changing so fast. They are also mentioning their work with the Securities and Exchange Commission and their plans for cybersecurity. They have a team focused on managing cyber risks, and their board of directors is involved in overseeing this. This is increasingly important for every company. Skrono, looking at these numbers and the story they tell, Nova Limited seems to be executing its strategy very well. They are growing rapidly and becoming more profitable, which is a great sign. The semiconductor industry is booming and they are riding that wave. Their expansion into new technologies and through acquisitions like Centronics appears smart, and their strong cash position gives them a good cushion. However, they are not without risks. The heavy reliance on a few big customers, combined with the complexity of their technology and the fast-changing market, means they need to stay sharp. The cybersecurity threats and geopolitical risks, especially regarding China and their base in Israel, are also consistent concerns that could really impact them. The convertible debt, while providing funding, adds financial complexity and potential dilution for shareholders. Overall, Nova Limited is in a strong growth phase, but investors need to be aware of the significant risks they are managing. This filing shows a company that is performing well. But the devil is always in the details, and in this case, those details are pretty complex. What is your take on Nova Limited's performance and its future prospects? With the semiconductor industry always evolving, are they positioned for long-term success, or are the risks too great? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you found this deep dive helpful. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more corporate breakdowns, and remember, join our Discord community for extra insights and discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of Corporate Decoder.